This is the rundown on why Electronic Arts has always sucked, dating all the way back to 1988. So back in 1988, this brilliant studio named Interplay created a revolutionary post-apocalyptic RPG called Wasteland, but because EA published it, they contractually hoarded the trademark and totally blocked the original creators from making a sequel. First, let's look at how EA basically stole this franchise. Brian Hargo and his team poured their absolute souls into Wasteland, but on paper, EA owned the name. So when Interplay tried to make a follow-up, EA just shut them down. It's exactly like a record label firing a legendary band but keeping the band's name to use with cheaper studio musicians. Second, what did EA actually do with that stolen IP? Well, in 1990, they released an in-house sequel called Fountain of Dreams. With zero involvement from the original developers, this universally reviled flop was bizarrely set in a post-nuclear Florida. Seriously, why do corporate publishers always think they can replicate the magic without the actual magicians? Finally, we've got to talk about the accidental birth of a titan. Because EA held the Wasteland name hostage, Interplay had to build a spiritual successor from scratch just to avoid lawsuits. They renamed their in-game monsters from Shadow Claws to Death Claws and changed their factions from Guardians to the Brotherhood of Steel. The result? In 1997, they birthed the multi-billion-dollar Fallout franchise. The ultimate irony here is that EA's greedy IP hoarding accidentally forced the creation of one of the biggest gaming franchises in history. So, EA's terrible business practices ultimately cost them the post-apocalyptic RPG crown. If this interests you at all, check the channel where we have a whole podcast on Wasteland.